to reimagine employee engagement within Cornerstone. We'll hear the story of how a bold HR vision turned into people-centric digital experience that boosted the employee experience across several countries. So welcome up on stage, Kairit, Susan, and Anna. Can you start by telling us about yourself and OlyBet?
I'm Kairit, the employee experience engagement at OlyBet, and I come to a world of entertainment, where is what is part of our DNA. So we are all up for creating the same experience that you get when, for example, you're watching the very favorite match on one of our venues or at back home, and this kind of excitement experience we want to offer to our employees also. And we like to call it OlyBet All-Stars because sports is a very big part of our work.
And Susan and Anna, do you think yourself properly? I see your own these collaborations that you've done.
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. So Octily is a quite unique creative studio for Cornerstone, and we help clients to design the employee experience and also to improve the engagement through branded customizations, personalized journeys, and also creative campaigns.
Yeah, you can actually see us a bit as the glue between HR, L&D, internal communications, and marketing. We can really help throughout the whole people strategy to create one solid journey.
And you're based in Germany, right?
Yes, I'm based in Berlin, Germany, and I'm now Chief Design Officer at Octily. That means that I lead the creative direction of the project. When we kick things off, we start with a design phase, and then we receive all the beautiful ideas and also the urgent needs from the clients. But on top, we also get to know the client much more better. We get to know the identity and also the values from the client. Something which we want to include to the design and which is super important for us. And then, of course, we combine everything with the power of the functionality of Cornerstone in a way to have an all-round design concept, which we can then later discuss with the client.
Thank you. Kairit, when you started this journey, you left the HR signal behind you and you renamed it to the people department and made sure that Cornerstone would be so much more than a system. What was the biggest mindset of culture shift behind that decision? What made you go there?
Yeah, when I joined the company 3 years ago, we were in the situation that every country, we're located in 7 different countries, worked in silos. And we quickly realized that this is not the way to go if we want to build our culture. And we just found our values as well. So we needed to change the approach it was before. One thing that we did is that we wanted that our department is not perceived as HR and we're doing only procedures and policies, but we are actually face of the people and we listen to what people really want. And Cornerstone actually became one of the tools that we use to start building the culture because all our employee life cycle is built up there. And with Cornerstone, we were able to make sure that it's consistent in all the countries we are. And I think other change what was that we start really asking what our people really need.
Yeah, thank you. And with this vision in mind, I assume you had very many things on your plate. So where were you first practical? How did you sort of set off? Because it's a lot.
Yes, the implementation period was quite intense. We implemented the core HR, the performance reviews, learning and development, and when it was time to implement recruitment, we actually looked deeper to understand what the experience is inside, but what the experience has to be outside as well, because we didn't have a career site. So then came Octily, and we started building the external career site together alongside building the process as well. And with the career site, we just looked through what the employee journey is from the beginning. And together with Octily, we created a very nice external career site. And the idea was to share already early on who we are, what is our mission and vision, And we created 3 different sub-pages in the external career site. Doctors, where we were able to already show all the vision and mission and our values. Life at OlyBet, where we were able to show who we truly are and what we stand for and what is our brand promises. And then, of course, the job portal where all our open positions were listed. And it was a very beneficial in a way that now all our recruitment process was in one place. All our applicants were in one place. We were able to share candidates between different locations. And building it, I think, was the most fun part because Anna captured our essence very, very well. And all our ideas that we had, she put in those beautiful visuals. And Susan over here as well, all the features, buttons, what we wanted, she made it happy and made sure everything was there. So it came a very, I would say, warm, nice, and easy to navigate.
Yeah, I think what helped as well was the fact that Kairit and the rest of the team were so open to really collaborate, brainstorm together. They brought us challenges, and together we were trying to find the best fit for every challenge that we face. So I think it definitely was a nice co-creation of everything that you see behind us.
Yeah. Can you say anything about which feature had the most impact on engagement and the reason why it might be like that?
Yeah, when it comes to engagement, I will have a longer answer for that. But after the career site, we actually turned inwards and thought about what our welcome page can look like. After the employee survey, what we did, we found out that one of our things that we need to improve was our communication, internal communication. So when we started to rebrand our welcome page, we really focused on creating it as a internet, as a place where people can read the actual news, what is going on into the company. And in our welcome page, you can see main thing, the actual news. We can celebrate the success stories that our employees have. And I think what makes it special is that you can react, you can comment. So we really created this social hub, and we really soon saw that, people are not just coming to Cornerstone to do their annual performance reviews or mandatory trainings, but they actually came, read the news, reacted, commented. So we started those social hub where everyone can talk. And what happened, we really quickly saw 45% increase of Cornerstone platform. So people really liked it, and it's like part of our DNA as well. Like be aware what is going on. So the news section really helped. But in the welcome page, we feature our new joiners as well. So everyone across the organization, you can see who joined. Estonia or Spain or in France. And all the open positions are available in our welcome page also. We are very proud of that. So that target is quite high to keep the same momentum. And if the previous speakers speak about the onboarding journey, we did that as well because we really wanted the user experience will be the same. If you apply for a job, you are ready to join us, then you already get the information before the first day what is coming up. So we build up the time frame for the new joiners, what to expect. There's a greeting from the CEO. At the same time, they can give us information what we need for the contract. They can get to know our values, our people. We asked our senior leadership team to be the one, the faces who are actually welcoming. So if you join, you already know who is our chief performance officer or here chief human resources officer as well. And one very cool thing was that new joiners can add their information in already. So when they join the company on the first day, then on the welcome page, their introduction will be there, so you already know who's this person, please.
Very nice.
Sorry for the very long monologue.
No problem. But I also know that this project influenced your development in your organization. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because it's so exciting. No problem, right?
Yeah, you maybe already saw it behind us as well. We created the Octily Content Editor. This lets HR departments maintain all custom pages themselves, so they can either easily change just an image or text link, but also the news articles are fully set up in the OCE. And for the team of Kairit, per market, we set up different rights. So some people can only create articles for their specific region. So it gives a lot of flexibility. And we already had a lot of experience working with companies in the past, of course, what their needs are, their wishes. So we knew we had like a good, solid foundation to build this platform. But of course, it helped. OlyBet was the first one that wanted to adapt this platform so that we could co-create this to begin with.
And Kairit, back to you. How has this changed your team's workflow? I mean, what's happened? What's the difference?
It made everything much easier. As mentioned before, boosting communication was very important for us. And now that we have a content editor in place, each country has their own ownership. They have their own targets, how many news they need to produce, what kind of information they need to share, and they can really have the ownership. So nobody is waiting that somebody's coming to work or pushing some kind of button. They can go there, enter the news, they can review it, they can launch it, and they can make sure that all the information that
goes out is timely. And the system usage is very, very easy, very intuitive. So there's no everyone can do it, just follow the fields. And it was really game changer. It made everything much more easier for us.
And this is so user-centric, so it's something with a really good example of how you actually build it around and create engagement. But so what happens when your client becomes a product co-creator? What's sort of
For us it was a bit of a dream scenario. Because they adapted it as the first client. It directly gave us a bit of a roadmap of what do we need to start with. We directly had use cases, so and also the collaboration between the both of us was really good. We got a lot of feedback, testing, a lot of trust that they wanted to start working with this platform without even anything being there when we started the project. So that's a really great scenario for us. And I think nowadays it's a really strong platform as is, but we're constantly developing, adding new features, also based upon feedback from clients, but also of things that we see, directions that we think we need to go with the platform itself.
So, Anna, can you say something about this value creation, how it's sort of on your side?
Yes, for companies is always different. It depends on the company itself. So sometimes we start with a style guide. Sometimes we also work together with the UX department on the side of the client. And for OlyBet, we had no style guide in the beginning, but during the process, we created somehow a style guide, and I had the opportunity and also the possibility to set some stylings. And thanks for that I've had this freedom to just create, and it was such a nice teamwork together. It was such nice brainstorming sessions we had together. And in the time we created so much nice add-ons. For example, we have here the article set up, and OlyBet wanted to have an icon, like a little bell, which says, okay, here's a new article. But then we developed in the end a browser notification add-on, which is very cool because all the employees, users see, okay, there's a new article in the portal, but you don't need to be logged in. And the other thing is on the onboarding page where you saw the timeline from top to bottom. It's more engaging for the employees or for the new onboardees to fill out all the things or to check mark all the steps, because there they feel more as they have a hand which helps them going through top to bottom. And there's like one form where you can put inside your picture and your hobbies and also like personal information, like a bit like to get a little bit of insight about the people. And this is what I also love, that OlyBet wants to put the people to the front, to spotlight them more.
And in the end, it's always the same, that we want to make Cornerstone easy to use, fun to use, and also easier for L&D teams and also employees.
Can I say that it's I am people centric, like I said, but something is for the bowl. I mean, you open up to something that you need to address as an employer. Has that been a problem in any case, or is it just value adding, creating engagement? Or
I would say our people are very tough ground, and if you come out with something, it has to work perfectly, and it's in a way challenging, but at the same time, when you do something, quality is there.
to take away that engagement and culture in this sense, what would that be? You should have a think around.
Just be bold.
Just be bold.
Yeah, experience, and people tell you what they need. So I think this collaboration here has been really agile, be thinking outside box and trying to put the system to work the way that we need. What is not the custom box product. So just people experience the platform.
Sounds so easy, which is something I thought. Okay, what do you?
Yeah, admit the same. If you have a challenge, just reach out to us. No, I think there's so many ways, so many solutions that you can come up with. I think what OlyBet did really well is they really approached Cornerstone differently. I think they added a lot of family to the platform. A lot of
Companies have so many different platforms
that they use for different purposes. But what OlyBet did is bring it all to this one platform, and really the start of the day for their employees, so that they were not searching for things or not. Oh, now I have to do a learning, but which platform do I have to use? So how do I get there? It's just the start of the day. So whenever you need to reach out to them, they're already there.
Already there. Fantastic. Wow, the setup.
You said it all.
I think I would just put the creative magic on it. So,
to make it more engaging and fun, and also not too overwhelming, because I know many clients are also
no, we don't want to scroll too much, but some content needs also space, and that's what I also
want to say that.
To give it the space it needs and to make it bold in the end.
And if you want to, there's a case study that you can download if you like to read more in the details, right? Yeah, something that we don't have the time to talk about today. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you
so much.
We do have time for a question if anyone has a question for you. Yes, there is a question.
So maybe this is obvious, but is the base LXP or LMS?
It's the Cornerstone CSS platform. And everything you saw is actually in Cornerstone. It's just that visual layer on top of it, and then combined with the editor where they can maintain all the content themselves.
So thank you so much, and do download the report. So you can.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have 2 more speakers talking about